Afternoon, Steve.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Very good.
Looking ahead to the weekend, Everton team news. First of all, are you going to get any players back this weekend?
Not sure about any players back. It doesn't go that way at the moment for us, but obviously Brennan sort of walked off at West Ham, so we'll see where he is with regards to the weekend. But yeah, lots of players obviously getting close to being fit and returning. Some obviously are quite away. But when they're back and available, great. We'll get them back involved as and when we focus on the lads who are available and be at our best come the next game. Obviously at Everton.
So just to go through a few of those, Serge Aurier not going to be available this week?
Not sure at the moment. Can't put a time scale on how long he'll be out for because he's obviously picked up a few niggles since he's joined us. But he's working hard and let's see.
And I know a few weeks ago you said to ask you again about Taiwo, to see how he's going to get on with his recovery.
Yeah.
Any update on him?
No, he's making good progress. He's out on the grass now and he's running. He's not with the team yet and he's not kicking any balls, but he's made progress in terms of not just straight line running, but some exercises that are change of direction and things like that, which is a positive step for him. So he's still weeks away from being close to training, but he's making good steps.
And just a few more, Ryan Yates and Moussa, how are they looking?
Yeah, Yates and Moussa are back in training. Not close really to. I say not close. They are close to being back involved, but they've for different reasons. I mean, Moussa's been out for a long while, and we have to be really careful with him introducing him back in. Listen, we're desperate for him to be involved and for him to play. But he's had a long-term injury, and it's not just about recovering from the injury, but it's also building the body and making sure that it's robust enough to firstly train with the team on a sort of regular schedule. But then the demands of the Premier League physically are extreme. So we need to make sure he's ready because he had a complex injury. There's no doubt about that. That had a few twists in the tail of recovery, but he's certainly in a good place now and right at the last stages. And as soon as we know that he's 100% ready to play, we'll look forward to getting him back involved.
Looking ahead to Everton, first for you, I think you've never faced Sean Dyche in a match.
Well, there's lots of managers I haven't faced, to be honest, especially this season. I'm not, I've done a few years now, but not as many as of some of the guys that we come up against. So it's not new really coming up against a new manager. But no, I've met him a couple of times, and obviously an experienced manager and a good manager at that. So yeah, like always though, you're just getting your team ready for the next game, and regardless of who the manager is and things like that, you just focus on the players and look forward to hopefully being at our best.
What have you made of Everton since he's taken charge? Have you noticed any differences to before he was appointed?
Yeah, there's always differences, isn't there, when a new manager goes in, and something you have to be aware of for sure. I think we're still in a place where we have to focus on ourselves, and that's sort of our mentality anyway. You look at the opponent and you see what they may or may not do, but you have sometimes the best laid plans into a game, and they never come to fruition anyway. So about the opponent, so I think you have to really focus on ourselves. We're obviously, not that I'm going to talk about it too much, but we obviously owe ourselves and our supporters a better performance than last week, particularly that 10-15 minute period that wasn't good in any way, shape or form. So yeah, we are only thinking internal. We're only thinking about ourselves. We're only thinking about what we can do to have positive impacts. We want to bounce back from setbacks. Nobody wants a setback, but I think once it happens, it's good to try and use it in a positive way. So we're looking to do that, but at the same time, there's some good things that we've done, over the recent months as well, and we're continuing to tell the players how well they've done at certain things and to play with belief to try and repeat that. So we're looking forward to the game, Sunday football, obviously. It's we're coming to the stage of the season now where wherever you may be in the league, where there's a little bit more on the games, and we're really excited about being part of that.
And does it feel like there's a bit more on Sunday's game again?
I just think it's coming to that time of season, where we're not at the end yet for sure. And there's an international break, obviously, that needs to come and go. But yeah, we it's where you want to be in the Premier League, playing for something, and we want to play with the anticipation of doing well and succeeding. And I want the players to really have that mindset that they can achieve good things, and game can't come quick enough, really. We can't wait.
Just final one from me. With the away form as it is, do you feel there's more pressure on the home games because your home form has been?
No, because when you play for this club or work for this club and these supporters and what it stands for, you have to do your very best to turn up every single game. I know there's an obvious differentiation between home and away. I understand that. I can talk about the away form this week because obviously we're playing at home, but no, regardless of form and time of the season, positions in the league, what happened in the last game, what you want to happen in the next game, I think when you work and play for Nottingham Forest, you represent something really important to the city and the community, and you have to value that every single game, and that's what we're going to try and do. Top man, please.
Do you think? Hi, Steve. Do you think, although you've said, obviously we're not using a certain phrase, but there are only 3 points available for this game, but is there more on this game, do you think, because of the relative positions right now? And does that change the approach?
Well, like I said, we're thinking about ourselves, and we have a mindset of looking forward. And looking forward this week was to do better than the last time out, So, we are, of course, there's other teams in the league and there's other teams playing for things. Understand that, and that's the beauty of the league and what you come up against. But we've just got to concentrate on what we do. And we are still very much in the process of trying to become something. So I think if you're thinking more about other things than that, then you haven't quite got full concentration on what for me is a priority, and that's us being at our best. And because if we do that, it means we're committed to the next game. We can get some good returns, and then we continue to build. In saying that, we'll build from the low moments as well, from the difficult performances and results as well, because I think that's what a process of getting to where you want to be is. So. We are obviously, you look at the opponent. Everton's up next, and you have to think about what it takes to succeed in a game against whoever. But we're also very clear, and it comes from the players as much as me, that we've got to look after ourselves and what we do, because in the end that'll be the most important factor of where you end up.
I'll take that point entirely, but I guess you do have to analyse an opponent, and I wonder what are the differences between the Everton side you'll face this weekend and the one you faced?
Well, that's an irrelevant question to answer, because we're not playing them 6 weeks ago. We're playing them on Sunday, so it's about what you come up against then. So because injuries,
what have you got to come up against? What have you got?
Well, an experienced team, an experienced manager, and a team full of Premier League experience and players that can obviously play at the level. And just in that, the Premier League week in, week out gives you a real challenge. So, and we'll be aware of that. But I go back to, and I'm sorry to repeat, that we're in a situation where we've got to really focus on what we can do. And if we do that, we feel we give ourselves the best chance of winning a game against any team. Next up, it's Everton. 100% respect for them, like we do every opponent, but more concentration on ourselves. But for sure, it will be a tough game, and one that we're going to have to be ready for. But that's the exciting bit, Premier League time of season where, it's games are looked at a little bit more, and we're really privileged to be part of it.
I don't know. You use all kinds of things in an approach to a game. Are you a fan of unbeaten runs? So at home, 8 in a row without defeat, I think it is.
I am if you keep it going. Yeah. No, but I think you have to be careful. You have to get the balance right, because that's when complacency can kick in. Like on the away form, we can't go into a game thinking that we definitely won't get something out of today. So it's the same. Anyway, no, I think that Yeah, I'm a big believer in sort of, as soon as the game is finished, reviewing it and taking out of it what needs to be taken out of, and that can be whatever the game throws up, but then starting again, from zero, as we call it, and building our way to preparing for a game to hopefully be at our best. But listen, the demands of the Premier League is, if you ever think anything is going to be straightforward and you just have to, arrive, then you quickly get, taken down. So we have to work even harder than we've worked before, because that's the demands of the league that we're in, and certainly the mindset that we want to have, and I'm hoping we have on the weekend. And
just one last one from me. The perception is you're doing great work here, the team's doing well, the season's going well, but of course, I don't need to tell you, you're only 4 points clear of relegation at the moment. Is the biggest danger that complacency? I suppose you're telling me not inside the club.
I think wherever you are in the league, there's always unless you're right at the top, there's always a small ambition to improve, and but there's also, like you said, the opposite to that as well, and it can go both ways. So you could ask that question, apart from maybe Arsenal, I think we're top of the league. You could ask that question to any manager, where there's hopes and fears of any position, and we're no different. So, but if you focus on that too much, then you're not focusing on your training, you're not focusing on your preparation, and then when a game day comes, you're not focusing on what it takes to do well. And I'm a huge believer in controlling the controllables, and that's today is our training and our recovery and our preparation and whatever else goes around being a professional athlete. Same tomorrow, and then come a game day, it's about delivering when it counts, and focus on that, and league positions and everything else take care of themselves.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Steve, can I just check on Dean Henderson, how far away he is from being back in goal?
Yeah, Dean's still a few weeks away. He had a repeat scan. What day was it? Maybe on the weekend, might have been early in the week. What day are we on now? Friday, might be Monday. And he's recovering. He's on course for what the injury is, but there's still a little bit of a show on the scan to say that he's not quite ready to get back. But it's going to take a few more weeks yet before he comes into sort of the final stages of rehab and reintroduction into training. So, which probably takes you to the international break, I think, a couple of weeks. Yeah. So, I don't think we'll see him training before the international break.
Sorry if I've missed this, but have you had anything back from the Premier League about Steve Cook?
No, not at the moment. No, it's still something that is a little bit inconclusive, but obviously it doesn't look great, and looking like now that it won't happen. Truth be told, I don't know the ins and outs and the exact wording from the Premier League or the FA, whoever it is, but certainly he's sort of outside of the 25-man squad at the moment, and just slightly frustrating, but that's what it is.
So is there a time frame on that?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I'm
not sure.
Cool. Blackburn had their appeal for Lewis O'Brien rejected this week. What are his options now?
Well, similar to what I said just after the transfer window, the lad's been completely let down, and so have we in a way, because once agreeing that Lewis could go and play somewhere else, which I wasn't 100% in favour of, but I understood where he was and what he wanted to do, and we made that decision that he could go, and he had a lot of offers, as you can imagine. He made the choice, and then obviously he didn't get through, and he's been let down. So we end up with a lad who's obviously had to wait for the appeal process. We treat him properly, like he should. So he's been training no problem with the group. We love Lewis. He's a fantastic lad, good player, and that we made the decision for him to go and play for a Nottingham Forest player to become a better player, because obviously we felt that was the right thing for him and us. So we've ended up in a poor situation for him first and foremost, because the whole reason that he wanted to go is because he wanted to play football, and I commend him for that and didn't stand in his way. And if anything, now he's not been just denied where he decided to go, but he's denied to play for us as well. And with what went on or has gone on with injuries since that decision, it's there's nothing good about it. we are working on trying to find something that fits for him, and there are still some options around the world. They're limited, obviously, and Lewis and his guys are working with Filippo on seeing what that is. For me, my day to day is working with Lewis. He's part of the training group, and we love having him around. Just a pity that he's been let down.
Could that be the MLS for him?
Yeah, I think that is an option, isn't it? Yeah, it is an option. Yeah, if it is, we'll let you know. Anything. I hope he gets somewhere. To be fair, he deserves it.
Hi, Steve. Just a couple from me. I just wanted to follow up on this business of the motivations and not using the relative positions to kind of as that extra motivation. Is it your kind of philosophy that you ask the players to look inside themselves?
Yeah. I mean, listen, the league positions are never like elephants in the room. We do talk about it, and good, bad, or indifferent. You know, we've been in worse league positions than what we are now in the last couple of weeks. So it's not that we ignore them and we don't not face up to them, but we don't. What's the word? We're not like talking about them every day. You know, I mean, the players will all look anyway. But yeah, on the motivation side, I think there's always a motivation playing here and the context of what the club carries and what it stands for. First year back in the Premier League, the way that the season has gone in terms of what happened in the summer and putting the squad together, we're still in the unique situation that we were a few months ago when we signed all the players. They're still the same. We're just a bit further down the line of the season, so we're still on that journey of having to try to do something that's never been done before with the amount of new players that come in. So none of that's changed. So we're constantly looking for motivations. But for me, a player's motivation comes from within, and it's not always for me to give them motivation. It's maybe for me to ask them how to look for it, because an individual drive comes from within. So we do a lot of that stuff with the players. But that is again an elite athlete. You know, what are they playing for? Who are they playing for? You know, why do they want to achieve things? If we can find all that in the players and they can learn about each other's as well, I think that's how you become a team. And for me, that's a daily what's the word? Sort of finding, you know, to see where everybody's at.
And just one on behalf of our BBC Sport colleagues, the fuss about who owns Newcastle has exploded again, with whether it's the Saudi government or not. As a head coach, as a manager, can you care at all about who owns football clubs and about that kind of level of football culture?
No, to be honest, and even if I did, I don't think it would be my place to talk about it. So as much as I can say, really.
Hi, Steve. Just a quick couple of follow-up questions from me. So there have been some reports that have been circling this week about clubs potentially clamouring for your signature in the summer, but are you able to offer any reassurances?
Nottingham Forest means everything to me, and this job that I do, from the day I walked in to where we're at now, and the only thing that's important apart from my family in my life is this football club, and that's where I'm at.
And just final one, I know you're saying about the football finances, but of course there's been the news that Marinakis has converted some of the loans into shares, and from a head coach point of view, how important is it for your
Well, even before, like, it's obviously a bit more in the spotlight now because that's what the Premier League does, but it's, you know, you guys and the local guys will know that all the owner's ever done is put money in, you know, and in the Championship, that's you know, a vital ingredient of trying to stabilise, I think, first and foremost before succeeding. So for our supporters and for the club, then it's just another continuation of what he's done before, but now it's on more of a sort of it's looked at by a lot more people because of the exposure of the Premier League, and like I said, he continues to support sort of the saying, put your money where your mouth is, sort of thing. He does it, doesn't he? So I'm sure, you know, the club will be very grateful to him again.
Just finally, what would be your message to the fans ahead of such a big game on Sunday?
Well, this is what we wanted. You know, the supporters, the players, myself and the staff. You know, this is why we clamoured to be in the Premier League. This is why, not just that we worked so hard last year, but for the supporters for years and years and decades, a lot of them have wanted to not just be in the Premier League, but to be getting to a stage where, you know, games are at the stage where they need support even more. So we'll all be going to the City Ground on the weekend, not just giving our all, because I like to think we've always done that regardless of the result, but knowing that we've got to give even more, and starts with me. Hopefully the players, we got to do our bit, and we're pretty sure the supporters will do their bit as well. And we love playing at the City Ground, but we don't take it for granted. We don't take the support for granted. There's no entitlement there. We've got to earn it, and when we do, we get it at an unbelievable level. So looking forward to getting back down there.